What's going on, Kaiju lovers? We are once again back opening up some universes, this time in the form of the Godzilla Challenger Series. Before we get into the unboxings, I just want to go over a little bit of housekeeping. The Godzilla Challenger Series is the first time that Godzilla King of Monsters has joined the Universus collectible card game. Um, each Challenger series will feature their very own bonus mechanically unique Mecha Godzilla character cards. So normally in the Challenger series, we've seen 60 card decks with 2 character cards. This time we're getting the 60 card decks with 3 character cards. We are also continuing the collector's boosters that have appeared with alternate arts in each card. And just so you know, these Challenger series decks will be available at your local game stores on June 21st. Once again, thank you so much to UVS Games for being awesome and sending it our way so that we can do a little unboxing and impression of these. Now, unlike the past Challenger series and past products we've opened up, this is actually an IP that I am surprisingly least familiar with. I mean, I watch all the modern Godzilla movies, but as far as the older Toho Godzilla verse, so I guess the modern ones are the MonsterVerse, and then versus the Toho verse or whatever. So I decided that I needed some help on this video and getting an expert of sorts opinion on these. And I searched through everybody I knew and did not find anybody that I would call a kaiju expert. Instead, what I did is I remember that I am currently following a very interesting individual on Instagram who goes by the handle Goofy Gaijin, I believe. I'm sure he'll tell you about it. And so I hit him up on Instagram through DMs, said, "Hey, I know this is weird, but do you want to take a look at some Godzilla cards?" And he responded with sure. And so here he is, the Goofy Gaijin himself. What's up, Goofy Gaijin?
Hey, what's going on? Goofy Gaijin here. Thanks for sliding my DMs.
Yeah, of course, man. Thanks for responding. So you obviously are a huge Godzilla fan. I mean, we could see Godzilla sitting on your shelves in the back.
I'm familiar with the character.
Would you say on a scale of 1 to expert, where would you rank yourself as far as
99.5.
all right, perfect. That'll do. What about trading card games? Any interest in trading card games or anything like that?
No.
Okay, this is perfect. This is even better than I could have expected. All right, well, we're gonna go in this fresh.
I'm
So
excited to see what you have to show us.
yeah, so right here, what we have is we have the 2 Challenger Series decks. So we have Godzilla with Godzilla and Mothra, and then the one with King Ghidorah and Rodan. I was telling,
Specifically, if I could jump in,
sure.
that's very specifically King Ghidorah from 2001's Godzilla Mothra King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters All Out Attack. Incredible cover art, but I'm sure we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah, listen, this is already justified my decision to have you on because I would have known that I would know nothing about that. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go through each of the decks. I'm gonna show you all the cards in there. You're gonna tell me what you know about them, and then also tell me what you think about the art on all of these. And then we will pit the collector's boosters off to the side. Now, the collector's boosters are alternate art cards of the other cards in the 2 decks, and they tend to be like the real showstoppers, what everybody is after in these sets, as far as from a collector's standpoint. So I'm excited to see what you think about that. I'm gonna let you pick. Do you want to start with Godzilla and Mothra or King Ghidorah and Rodan?
We'll start with King Ghidorah and Rodan.
Sounds good.
Nice.
You would think after doing all of these unboxings that I would already have like a pair of scissors handy nearby to speed this along.
Be sure not to damage the box too much. That's definitely a collector's item.
All right, this is what we're gonna do. We are going to keep the box right here face down. And then it's interesting. They have changed the packaging with these Challenger decks, I feel like every single time. So here we have a little pamphlet that has previews of all the cards in the set. We're going to put that off to the side because I don't want to spoil anything. Here's that Challenger booster pack I was talking about that contains
Ooh.
alt art and foil cards.
Look at that destruction.
We will open those together at the end. And then we're going to go ahead and get right into uh the deck. So why I'm opening this up, why don't you tell me what made you kind of fall in love with Godzilla and the Toho universe in general?
I gotta say, what really got me into it was I was always interested in movies with like giant monsters. So I figured out like why not just watch movies with giant monsters? And I happened upon Godzilla and all of his friends and enemies, and basically I just fell in love with the Tohoverse from the time I was a little kid.
All right, that's awesome. You know what? Before we actually get into this deck, Goofy Gaijin, why don't you tell people a little bit about your Instagram? I'll let you plug it more at the end, but why don't you tell people what your account's all about?
I appreciate the plug. So basically, the Goofy Gaijin is your number one stop shop to find out all sorts of great tips and hacks for your travels and everyday life. I like to offer like the best, most thoughtful guidance from a real perspective of somebody who's been through things. So definitely follow me for more tips if you're interested in learning more.
All right, awesome. I must say, like I said earlier, I am a big fan. I follow the account. My only complaint is I actually wish you posted more. Um, but all right, let's go.
Now that you slid into my DMs, I'm definitely gonna post more.
We're gonna start off with our 3 character cards. So we have King Ghidorah, Emperor of the Cosmos, and then I don't know if you can see the foil treatment.
Oh yeah,
We
that really
have
got the foil treatment. Look at that.
we have Rodan,
Hold on.
and then we have Mechagodzilla Bionic Menace.
It's interesting that they call that one the Bionic Menace because that's Kiryu from the Godzilla against Mechagodzilla saga. And Kiryu is actually a Mechagodzilla variant that's built by humanity to fight Godzilla. It does go on a rampage sometimes, but generally it's a good guy.
All right, we're gonna come back to that actually. So I'm gonna put this off to the side. And so, what do you think of the art so far?
I gotta say, I like the art. Starting with Rodan, there's a lot of throwbacks to the original 1956 Rodan movie that features two Rodans that basically terrorized Japan. And I like the throwback that's basically in the style of what's known as the Showa series. And those were the movies within the Tohoverse that started in 1954 and ended in 1975. So a lot of features taken from like the different Rodans of that era.
All right, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. When I knew you'd be knowledgeable, I was not expecting this level of detail. This is making me so
That's
happy.
why you gotta follow me for more tips.
All right, we're gonna start off with combined firepower.
The combined firepower is awesome. It's a great use of King Ghidorah's gravity beams. I like the holofoil art and how it reflects mostly in the gravity beams themselves.
All right, we have Golden Death,
Golden Death looks like somebody needs a Mentos.
Death from Above.
Death from Above is definitely Rodan, and it's so appropriate that you have two Rodans there because in the original Rodan film, the two Rodans, as I said, are terrorizing Tokyo. So it's great that they come together.
We have Tri Gravity Beam.
Tri-gravity beam is a great and powerful attack. It's basically when King Ghidorah fires all three gravity beams from all three heads simultaneously at a target.
Monster Zero.
Monster Zero. Interesting that they went with Kaiser Ghidorah for this one, because Kaiser Ghidorah did not go by the moniker of Monster Zero.
Supersonic Flight.
Absolutely. I see Rodan and Titanosaurus. Look at them embracing each other in a flight and or hug.
Falling Crush.
Falling Crush, that's basically like the story of my life.
Focus Gravity Beam.
That's a gravity beam that's focused.
So what do you think about this art style? Do you think it best represents uh the Tohoverse?
I think it's a great representation of the Tohoverse. I definitely give it like 19 out of 10 in terms of style and in terms of tributes to the original Toho films. If you look at this Rodan in particular, it's really taken from the Fire Rodan of the 1990s Heisei films, which is it features Rodan basically going after like a little baby Godzilla egg because I think it's own egg and it wants to take care of Godzilla Jr.
Okay, that's multiple bites right there. We have Overwhelming Gravity Beam.
Quite overwhelming. Look at that. The
Swooping
poses.
Talons.
Oh, look at those talons swoop. art style is really incredible, and I have to say, it really makes me feel like I'm watching one of the original or classic films. The art style is crisp. I can tell which generation each character is from, and that's really important to me as a fan of the franchise.
Battle for Dominance.
That's quite a bottle.
Evasive Maneuver.
I hope the helicopter gets away.
Galactic Monster.
Absolutely a galactic monster.
Malicious Evil.
Fantastic. Well, depending on which incarnation of King Ghidorah it is, but yeah, generally it is a malicious evil.
Quick Arrival.
Story of my life.
Relentless Challenger.
Look at that. Quite relentless in its pursuit.
Space Terror.
What a terror. I'm actually scared.
And then Triple Trouble.
Absolutely. Definitely, King Ghidorah is triple trouble, if nothing else.
All right. That is the Ghidorah Rodan. Now let's open up the other one, which is Godzilla and Mothra. So beyond
Nice.
Godzilla, who is your favorite kaiju?
Bianca's, I have to say Gamera. Gamera is a friend to children and basically the guardian of the universe. I highly recommend that you watch and enjoy Gamera films.
So, as such a big fan of the originals and everything that Toho has produced, what are your thoughts on the MonsterVerse, the Godzilla MonsterVerse movies?
I have to say, it's a really enjoyable take on Godzilla Legends. I like it. I've enjoyed all the films so far, and I definitely enjoyed Godzilla Kong: The New Empire.
What was your favorite part of New Empire? I love that movie. I thought it was awesome.
I thought that the Godzilla fight in Rome was one of the best parts, and also the basic like smackdown of Scar King at the end was terrific. And then also when Godzilla suplexed Kong in Giza, that was terrific.
See, my favorite part is when Kong picks up the smaller monkey and uses him as a club to beat the other. All right.
That's a great part.
All right. So, again, we're going to start off with here. Use this to help me focus. All right. So we have Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
What a king! Look at that. Really throwback to the Godzilla against Mechagodzilla version.
Mothra.
Nice as well. Classic colors, classic representation. Everything's really crisp in the art.
And then we have this Mechagodzilla, and first this one is labeled as Kiryu.
Kiryu is quite heroic.
So
that specific version of Mechagodzilla. So
yeah.
those two are actually both Kiryu.
Oh, okay.
But Mechagodzilla in its original 1974 appearance, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, also known as Godzilla vs. the Cosmic Monster, was pretty evil. It was created by the aliens from the third planet of the black hole that are basically called like simians because when you like kill them, they revert back to their like simian slash monkey like state. Anyways, they wanted to conquer Earth and they came from space, so it really is a space terror. And it was built using a metal that we don't even know about called space titanium.
All right, let's kick it off. We've got City Rampage.
Look at that rampage. Great, great work.
Gathering Energy.
That's terrific. Look at Godzilla charging his dorsal plates.
Electric Moth.
Quite electric.
Heat Ray.
Heat Ray, absolutely hot.
History's Greatest Monster.
I mean, where's the lie in that?
The Shobigene's Message.
What a message it is. Peace and love and basically leave Infant Island alone.
Man, I gotta say, I love the art in these cards. It's one of those things where it's also so different than everything we currently have in the game in Universus, where we're dealing mostly with like anime and the colors are a little bit brighter and pop a little bit more versus this very like almost like a gritty, kind of old school art take on it.
I couldn't agree more. The art is very artistic.
Destructive Slam.
Look at that destruction. You can really tell that Godzilla's impervious to basically all conventional weapons.
Flying Zap.
Ooh, that's going to leave a mark.
We've got Kaiju Clash,
Super major props to the artist on this.
Mega Burst,
That's a big burst.
Smashing Stomp,
Someone needs a pedicure.
Ferocious Attacker,
Ferocious Attacker. This is especially true because that's 2001's Godzilla from Godzilla Mothra and Ghidorah Giant Monsters All Attack, where he's basically a ghost, and a ghost of like souls lost during World War II, who like want to take revenge on Japan for basically forgetting their plight.
Incomparable Size,
That's pretty big.
Monster Aggression,
Monster Aggression. That's pretty aggressive, and that Screonk is basically like how they write Godzilla's roar in the comics.
Moth Monster,
Looks more like a butterfly to me, but okay.
Titanic Combat.
That's pretty big combat. By the way, that last one was a joke. It
Yeah.
really is a moth.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Yep. Yep. No, I got that. I got that. Tough skin.
Super tough. Impervious to weaponry.
Unmatched power.
Absolutely no match. That's why he's the king of the monsters.
And unstoppable force.
Absolutely unstoppable. It's appropriate that the card had a number 1 on it because Godzilla really is number 1 in our hearts.
For sure. For sure. All right.
No, not 4, 1.
That wraps up the 2 decks. Now to the thing that I'm most excited about is the collector booster pack. Again,
okay, just be careful opening that.
each pack contains 6 alt art foil cards, and the alt art cards are from both decks. So even if you picked up just the Ghidorah and Rodan, there's still a chance that the collector's booster could have cards for the Mothra and Godzilla pack. So let's go ahead and open this up. What we would really like to see here, what we're really hoping for, although they are rare, is for one of the alternate art characters.
Nice.
All right, let's see
I
what
have
we
my
got
fingers
here.
crossed for you.
We have incomparable size. So you can see that this is normally, and when we were going through the deck earlier, that card in the original set has no foil treatment, whereas you can see this one has some foil treatment to it and a lot
That
more
one has
detail.
like a lot of foil treatment. Look at that. Impressive.
We have a monster aggression. You were talking about the Screonk.
Yes.
We have malicious evil.
Look at those heads.
Ooh, here we go. We have the gathering energy.
Look at that energy being gathered. I love that. I love that the whole thing's hollow foil.
We have smashing stomp.
Stompy womp.
And then focus gravity beam. So I do want to go through and go ahead and grab that gathering
Nice.
energy just to show you the difference between. Okay, so this is the one that comes in the deck. And then here is the full alternate art version.
Bro, that's freaking sick. Can I say freaking on this channel?
Yes, you absolutely can. But that I think is where we draw draw the
Nice.
line. Okay, you just can't go beyond that.
Okay.
All right, let's go ahead and
Nice.
open up the other collector's booster pack. All right, we have Ferocious Attacker,
Excellent.
Falling Crush,
Yes.
Battle for Dominance.
That fight.
Oh, here we go. The Shobajine's Message.
What a message. Fun fact, the Shobijin were originally played by a pop duo called the Peanuts.
Titanic Combat,
I didn't see
and
the Titanic there.
multiple bites.
Those are a lot of bites.
Let me grab. All right, here we go. So you can see the comparison again here between the card that I already think looks amazing in the main deck, but then you have here the alternate art.
They're both great. I like the close up on the heads, but I also like the fact that the second one really ties it into their relationship with Mothra.
Okay. And so here are the big alternates that we want out of these collector's boosters. You can see how much care is given to the art treatment and the full treatment on these. This is easily my favorite part of these Challenger series are these collector's boosters. Part of me wishes there was a way to get the collector's boosters as a separate product, but I'll have to have a conversation with UVS Games about that. And yeah, I mean that wraps up the Challenger series. I will give my impressions first. I absolutely um, love the art and the cards. I'm super excited to mess around with these decks, and actually, I will be putting out a video shortly after this one of actually some matches using these decks. One of the things about this set in particular is that if you look through and you notice, pretty much all of the attacks were 5 difficulty or above. Of course, I go to the 1-4 difficulty one. These decks bring a lot of, appropriately enough, a lot of power to the game. Um, they're all about pitting out, big damage across the board and really being as destructive as possible, which I think falls right in line with the themes of Godzilla. What did you think about the art on the cards and some of the cards? Do you think that these properly represent Godzilla?
I think they do more than that. I think they go beyond just being a good representation and are actually a genuine love letter to the entire history of Godzilla films. And basically, like all the love that we have for the character, they were able to encompass that and really display that in this very vivid artwork.
No, I agree 100%. And I'm happy to hear you say that. I mean, one of the things I was nervous about is knowing how big of a fan you are and how much of an expert you are. Although I did not realize just how much, is I was a little bit nervous that you would come on and wouldn't enjoy these cards. So it's awesome that uh this speaks to you even as somebody who doesn't play like trading card games.
This was definitely made for fans by fans.
All right. Well, listen, that wraps up this impressions and unboxing video. Goofy Gaijin, why don't you let people know where they can follow you and where they can see all of your content?
Definitely like don't follow me on the street because that's kind of creepy. But if you have Instagram, follow me at the Goofy Gaijin. I give important tips and I plan on uploading much more thanks to your encouragement.
Yeah.
Follow me for more tips for sure.
No, I am super excited to see what you put out. Once again, you can find the Universus Godzilla Challenger Series decks at your local game stores starting June 21st. If you need help finding out where your local game store is, you can go to uvsgames.com and use their store locator. As always, make sure to give us a follow across all social media over at the Workprint. Check out theworkprint.com. Like and subscribe over on YouTube. And yeah, until next time, bye bye.
Bye.